Okay, now that we know how to organize the messages coming to us, it's time to talk about some of the options available when you compose a message and send it out. So I'm going to click the Compose button, and on the web interface I get a little message window that pops up that I can use to compose my message. Sometimes I find this not ideal, working in this little box down here in the corner, and so there's a couple choices here. I can click this button to get a full screen version, and it takes up your whole screen. I can go back down to the little tab if I click that. If you are in the middle of writing a message and you happen to need to write another message or reply to something that comes up, it's okay. This remains fully functional, so you can take a look at a message that comes up while still keeping this open. You can also even compose a new message, and the current one slides over to the left, and this new one is the one you're working on. And you can minimize this, and you can have a bunch of little temporary messages open down here on the bottom, and then pop them back open when you're ready to work on them. So I'll close that one. We'll go back to this guy. And let's talk about some of the features here. So obviously there is the to line, and so you can send a message to somebody in the district here. And then you can click the CC message line to open up the carbon copy. So you can send a message to somebody else, not directed to them, but so they're included and they get a copy of the message. There's also the blind carbon copy, and some people are not aware of what this actually means, and any names you put in here will get a copy of the message, but they won't see who else gets a copy. So this is great for sending a message out to a group of people that you don't necessarily need them to know who else is getting the message. So blind carbon copy is there for that purpose. Then you have your subject line, and then you can start composing your message. Okay, so for formatting purposes, there's the capital A underline down here, and you click that open, and you can choose a font, and you can choose sort of a preset size setting. You can choose to bold, italicize, or underline your text, and you can change the text color and the background color. So if I want to highlight some text here, I can highlight that, and I can choose to give it a highlight of yellow. And I could also choose to give it a text of red and make it very obnoxious. Next on the list are the alignment options, and so you can center your text or right align it and left align it. You can do a numbered list or a bulleted list, and you can indent or outdent each list or paragraphs like that. You can quote messages, so if you want to highlight something and include this as part of a quotation, it indents it, puts a little marker there, and so that's a nice way to do an inline quotation. If you have some text that has already been formatted and you want to take all that formatting away, just highlight it and then click this button here, the little TX. Click on that, and it will remove all the formatting and put it back into plain text. Okay. To the right of the formatting options, you've got attachment options, and so you can attach files from your computer. Just click that button. You get a browser window for searching your computer for files. You can upload images or PDF files or whatever you need. Cancel that. You can also bring in files directly from Google Drive. So if you click that, it'll access your Google Drive, and then you can search through and find whatever information that you need to attach. Okay. And it also will let you have some sharing permissions, some notifications about the sharing privileges when you send that. There's a $sign here. Apparently you can send and request money. So I haven't tried this. Maybe you should. Just email maybe your administrator and ask them for some money and see what happens. You can insert a photo this way, and it'll either do it from your Google Drive photo account, which is Google Photos, or you can upload a file from your computer. You can look for one online, and that's built in. Next is the ability to insert a link, and I'm going to come right back to that because that's really useful, and there's a couple ways to use it. And then finally, there's insert emoticon, because we all know it's difficult to express your emotions over email, so you can choose to insert a smiley face so everybody knows you're happy. Okay. For inserting links, you could type in a website and it's sitting there. If I highlight this and choose Insert Link, it automatically assumes, okay, you want to go to http://www.cnn.com. And that's fine. You can just leave that there and that's good. So that's just a one-click activate the link. But if I want to change it, I can click on that and a couple options here. So I can edit the text. So I can say, click this link. And the link it goes to is right here, the web address. Or you can use an email address as a link and it'll open up an email program and do it that way. But usually a web address is what you're looking for. So the text will say this, but the link will be this. I click OK. And it says click this link. But if I were to click it, it takes me to CNN.com. You can also do that with text that's already there. So if I say formatting and I click the link, it's going to try to guess that I want to keep the text formatting and send you to a link. And so we'll send this one to NPR and say OK. And so now that link would take you to npr.org. If you decide that you don't want to send this message and you want to delete it, you can click the trash can and that'll discard the draft. And the reason it says discard draft is because while you've been typing, it's been saving this as a draft. So if you close this or your computer dies or something happens and you lose this web page, you can go back into Google Mail and you'll see it in drafts. And here it is. So I can just click that and open it up and keep working on it. So everything, just like all the Google Docs, is constantly being saved and uploaded to the cloud. So you never should lose anything, even if you're halfway done and you forgot to save it. It's still there. Okay, last couple things here. There is a button to the right, a little upside down triangle. And we can label this message on the way out. You can label your outgoing messages too. You can request a read receipt, and so that means that as soon as someone reads it, you'll get a little notification. You can go to plain text mode, which gets rid of all these kind of formatting things. You can print the email, or you can run a spelling check real quick and see what concerns it has in terms of spelling. And those are the basics of composing a message using the web interface of Google Mail.